The Carolina Panthers just flipped a switch, and the league has not caught it yet. A team most people wrote off is suddenly forcing tough choices on every snap. The twist is simple. Carolina is winning with pace on the ground, a calm quarterback in the final minutes, and a defense that stiffens when it matters. Nobody expected this to come together this fast, and that is exactly why it is dangerous. Look at how the story is turning. The Panthers sit at 5-4 after being the underdog week after week, and they have taken 4 of their last 5 by leaning into who they are. They squeeze the clock, protect field position, and slam the door in the red zone. In Green Bay, they turned a tense finish into a walk-off moment, not because of luck, but because the plan held under pressure. What nobody is talking about is how repeatable that plan is when the weather gets colder and every mistake gets louder. Now the spotlight shifts to the engine that drives it all. The offense sets the pace with a powerful run game that hits fast and keeps hitting. An offensive line that moves people without the headline noise, and receivers who block like it is fourth quarter every quarter. Bryce Young uses that rhythm to pick his moments, and that is when hearts start racing. If you want to see why this formula travels and why it might scale even higher, watch how the offense opens the next sequence and tilts the field from the first series. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Panthers and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 200 likes on this video. Carolina hits first and keeps hitting. Rico Dowdle leans on a defense until it gives up space. Then he is through it before anyone can close the door. Chuba Hubbard changes the tempo and keeps the legs fresh. The wideouts buy extra yards with real blocks, with Jalen Coker sealing the edge and rookie Tyrone McMillan turning corners into traffic. It looks simple on the surface, but the punch keeps landing because the Panthers choose the right lane at the right time. The line is the quiet star of this story. Ike Mekwonu anchors the left side and changes angles with strong hands. Austin Corbett and Jake Curhan keep the pocket clean and the doubles firm, while Cade Mays drive bodies off the spot. Taylor Moton gives depth that most teams do not have. Shifts in motion pull eyes one way while the ball slips the other. Trap, counter, and the quick cut all show up in the same drive. And tight end Mitchell Evans sets a strong edge so the backs hit daylight without a wasted step. All of this builds a perfect stage for Bryce Young. Play action opens clean windows, quick rhythm throws keep the chains moving, and when a safety steps down to stop the run, a shot to T-Mac or Coker becomes the dagger. The twist is how Bryce uses cadence and checks to freeze the second level, so the best look appears right when he wants it. Next, we pull the lens to the quarterback, and you will see why his calm late in games is not luck, and how it turns this steady offense into a closer when the clock gets tight. Bryce Young changes the temperature of a game without flash. In the last 5 minutes, he trims the reads, speeds up his feet, and hits the throw that flips the drive from hope to belief. The ball comes out on time to the sideline, then between the numbers, then to the check down only when the deep shot is not there. He wastes no motion and no words. You can feel the stadium get quiet as the chains start moving and the clock becomes a weapon in his hands. The strength is not a single throw, but the rhythm he builds under pressure. On third and medium, he leans into timing routes that let Jalen Coker win the step he needs. On the next snap, he resets the picture and gives Tetairoa McMillan a chance to use size at the catch point. When linebackers sit shallow, he will find Mitchell Evans up the seam. When the rush folds the pocket, he slides, keeps his eyes up, and turns a broken play into a clean 4 yards that keeps the call sheet wide open. That is how a quiet stat line still leads to a loud finish. Which is why his game-winning drives sit at 9 and feel repeatable. What nobody is talking about is how his calm feeds the other units. A steady quarterback shortens the field for the defense and lets the run game keep its bite late. The next step in this climb is simple. Keep that late game nerve and add one more early down strike per quarter so the margin grows before the final drive. Now watch what happens when the defense meets that standard, because the red zone bite they showed is the reason these finishes matter at all. Carolina's defense wins by squeezing space until an offense runs out of ideas. They give you grass between the 20s, then the field shrinks and the call sheet gets small. Safeties close windows, corners crowd routes, and tackles rally to the ball. The result is simple pressure without chaos. In tight moments, they turn long drives into short kicks. And that swing shows up on the scoreboard far more than any box scoreline. Impact players keep showing at the right second. Christian Roseboom punches at the ball and changes a first quarter into a sudden change. Nick Scott reads the quarterback and arrives on time to stop yards after the catch. Mike Jackson undercuts a slant and forces a handoff to a field goal unit. When J.C. Horn is active, the outside feels longer and throws take an extra beat. The young rushers add juice when it counts. Rookie Nick Scorton stacks splash plays by winning the first-hand fight. Rookie Princely Umanmielen flashes on third down with speed to power that makes a guard step wrong. The hidden edge is discipline in the red zone and care with the football. When Carolina wins turnovers, they win games. And that is not a fluke. Short fields for the offense and longer fields for the opponent tilt time of possession and tempo. The next layer is simple and dangerous. Keep the same patience early, then add one more third down stop per half so the offense starts drives with a lead. Now hold that picture as we move to the blueprint game, the cold day when this exact plan turned a tough road trip into proof that the formula travels. Cold road, loud crowd, tight score. The Panthers went into Green Bay and showed the league a clear plan that holds under stress. Drives bent but did not break, and the defense turned long marches into short kicks with a red zone line that would not move. The key number tells the truth. Green Bay left with 1 touchdown on 5 trips inside the 20. And that single detail flipped a heavyweight field into Carolina's kind of game. Up front, the protection was calm and precise. The rush met sturdy hands and quick feet, and pressure stayed rare across 4 quarters with only 4 total allowed. Late, Bryce Young changed the picture with voice and posture, then handed to Rico Dowdle cutting inside for 19 and sudden daylight. That run set the stage for Ryan Fitzgerald from 49 to settle the day, a finish built by a dozen small choices that stacked the odds 1 inch at a time. This was not a one-time trick. It was a template that can move from stadium to stadium if the details stay sharp. Own the red zone, protect the ball, lean on the ground pace, and let the quarterback choose the right moment. Now bring that same spine to the division slate, because the Saints are next and the window is open. Watch how the matchup shifts when time of possession, completion rhythm, and field position start leaning blue. Saints come in bruised but dangerous with rookie quarterback Tyler Shuck and a room that still features Chris Olave plus size help in Devon Vell. This is the kind of week where a focused script can stack points and belief. Lean on Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard to control the clock, use quick hitters to Jalen Coker and rookie Tedairoa McMillan to keep corners honest, then take 1 clean vertical when safeties bite. If Bryce Young keeps the ball out on time, the chains will move and the crowd will feel the game tilt early. The defense gets a clear task: smother early downs, rally to tackles, and make the rookie process every throw inside a shrinking pocket. Keep angles clean for Christian Roseboom and Nick Scott. Squeeze windows so J.C. Horn can drive on the ball. And let the young rushers Nick Scorton and rookie Princely Umanmielen hunt third and long. 1 takeaway can flip the night. 2 can end it. Field position matters more than flair, and smart punts can be winning plays when the scoreboard is tight. Handle this step and the path sharpens. Falcons on deck, then a climb through Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, and 2 shots at the Buccaneers. Bank a clean win now, and momentum becomes part of the plan, not just a hope. That raises a bigger question the rankings keep missing. If the formula keeps working, why are so many people still slow to see it? Let us pull apart that gap between perception and reality next. Power rankings still lean on big passing days and flashy highlights. So a team like Carolina slips through the cracks. When a model weighs air yards and explosive pass rate, it undervalues a group that wins with clean exchanges, steady pace, and smart field control. That is how a club can sit at 29th on a list while building a style that gets harder to beat in cold weather and tight games. The surprise is not that the numbers look modest. The surprise is that this style keeps stealing wins from teams that check prettier boxes. What most people do not see are the quiet edges that stack up. Fewer wasted snaps, fewer penalties that kill drives. Better first play choices that set up second and manageable. Pre-snap motion that moves eyes without risking the ball. Net punt flips that turn a long field into a short one. Return lanes that give Bryce a friendly start line. Protection calls that erase free rushers. None of that trends on a timeline, but it flips 3 possessions a game, and that swing is often the whole story. So the question becomes simple. Do you chase attention, or do you build a roster that fits the plan? Carolina has shown signs of the second path, choosing value, fit, and development over headline grabs. The next piece of the story explains how the front office thinks about need and price, why young rushers are getting real snaps, and how a few careful moves can raise the ceiling without breaking the core. If you want to see the roadmap, the philosophy behind the wins is up next. The front office is choosing patience over noise. Dan Morgan and Brant Tillis work with Dave Canales to match need with fair price, then let the room grow together. That is why young rushers like Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen keep getting real snaps, and why depth pieces such as Travis Gibson are folded in without forcing a splash. The message is clear: protect picks, add toughness, and keep the identity intact. This approach fits the field plan. A stronger rotation up front keeps the run game fresh and the protection steady. One more reliable target emerging alongside Jalen Coker and rookie Tatairoa McMillan would help Bryce Young stack early leads without changing who he is late. Clean operation on special teams, sharper substitutions on defense, and smart red zone calls turn close games into 2-score wins. None of that chases headlines, but all of it stacks wins. So the path is practical. Handle division games with control, then steal 2 from the tougher slate by leaning on pace, poise, and takeaways. If a veteran becomes available at a fair number, the door is open. If not, the plan does not blink. To close this story the right way, we roll straight into a crisp checklist of keys that travels to any stadium and any weather, so you can see exactly how this blueprint turns pressure time into winning time.